Washington has failed again, and this time it's not just another political game, it's a full-blown shutdown that's brought America to its knees. Overnight, government payments stopped, federal workers went home, and the nation that once financed half the world can't even pay its own bills. They call it a temporary impasse, but behind closed doors, leaders in DC are watching the system collapse from within. But what if this isn't temporary? What if America has already crossed the line of no return? Stay until the end, because what's unfolding now could mark the moment America loses faith in its democracy. For months, Washington has been locked in a brutal power struggle. Republicans and Democrats refuse to compromise on spending, each blaming the other for fiscal irresponsibility. And when the deadline hit, there was no deal. The Treasury's accounts ran dry, Social Security checks froze, Medicare reimbursements vanished overnight. Even military pay suspended. This wasn't a foreign attack. This was political gridlock detonating from the inside. As markets opened the next morning, panic spread. Investors dumped Treasury bonds. Credit agencies slashed America's rating, and the dollar, the foundation of global finance, trembled. If the dollar falls, how long before everything else follows? In New York, Wall Street screens glowed red. In small towns across America, ATMs ran out of cash. People lined up outside banks, fearing what came next. Federal offices shuttered, airports reported chaos as controllers called out sick, national parks closed. Hospitals warned they'd run out of funding within days. But the real damage wasn't just economic, it was psychological. Because for the first time in modern history, millions of Americans realized their government couldn't be trusted to function. And when trust breaks, money means nothing. Polls now show trust in Washington at record lows. Public anger is boiling, protests erupting from DC to Denver. Both parties claim the moral high ground, while the public watches their livelihoods disintegrate. Experts warn this could spark a constitutional crisis, because once public trust collapses, laws, elections, even the rule of law itself begin to unravel. It's not about money anymore, it's about legitimacy. And legitimacy, once lost, is nearly impossible to regain. So what happens when the world's oldest democracy forgets how to believe in itself? This isn't the first shutdown, but it's the first where no one's willing to fix it. Some in Congress believe letting the system reset will save America. Others see it as a slow-motion implosion of the republic. Foreign leaders are already watching closely. China's state media calls it proof of Western decline. Moscow mocks the chaos as self-inflicted collapse. And global investors are quietly shifting billions out of U.S. assets. The message is clear: if America can't govern itself, the world won't wait for it to recover. And if the world moves on without America, what happens to the idea of America itself? Washington's stalemate has turned into something deeper, a leadership vacuum, one that no election, no speech, and no bailout can instantly repair. Because when a nation's institutions lose credibility, when the people stop believing in their leaders, what's left to hold the country together? If the U.S. can't rise above its political chaos soon, the world's greatest democracy may find itself defaulting, not just on its debt, but on its very identity. Subscribe to True Talk for the truth behind America's unraveling.